Hi everybody, Doug Hunt, owner of Sunrise Media Group, 2004 Small Business of the Year winner. And the Small Business of the Year award sponsored by BKD. Category of 1 to 10 employees. Man, that's a nice smelling flower from HIGDON's Florist. That person pulled right out in front of me. Here, I'm going to use my mobile app to send a picture of that person to Kyle Hickam at State Farm Insurance and send it through the cloud at SNC Squared. Drive safe, everybody.
I'm Marcia Baker. HIGDON Florist is a wonderful full-service florist. This is my wonderful husband, and he does a lot of the behind-the-scenes things.
I do the fruit baskets, I do some designing, but we've got such a great crew of professional designers that fortunately I don't have to do very much of that.
And you do unique.
I help out with the corsages sometimes on special events. We've done some pretty creative things in the past for corporations, for funeral situations, sympathy situations. One particular thing comes to mind is we had a customer come in who wanted basically a floral petal mosaic of a gentleman fishing, it was a hunter and his dog and geese flying. We made one of those for a sympathy situation.
We have the hot spot, which is unique.
We opened it about 10 years ago. It's in a section of our shop that we have homemade soups and sandwiches.
We also have in the hot spot chai teas and coffees in the morning.
And the gentleman who does our hot spot was the best man at our wedding 43 years ago.
We really value the people, value customers, as well as value our employees.
I've been with State Farm now for 25 years this year, 10 years as an agent here in Joplin, Missouri. And what we do is we basically look at ourselves as educators. Last year we were going paperless, which it's kind of hard to do in the insurance world. Now what we do when a customer comes in is if they have time, once they sign up their policies with us, we bring them back to another area of our office where we go on an iPad and we set their policies up for them online so they can access their coverages and they can go in and make their payments and they can add and delete coverages themselves and they can do it all online. And once we get that set up with them, we always ask them if they have an iPhone or a Droid, and if they do, we sit down and put the Pocket Agent application on their phone. It's a free downloaded application that if they have a loss, they can immediately take pictures of the damage. They can upload them to me so that I can get the claim reported to them immediately. If they get pulled over and they don't have their insurance card, they can actually pull up their insurance card and show it to the police officer right there with the Pocket Agents. Also, we're utilizing Facebook to make contacts with customers, just to when the winter comes along, I may send out a Facebook message to people, tell them, hey, it's time to unhook your hoses from your house so you don't have broken pipes, close your vents. And in the spring, I try to remind them it's time to open them and go ahead and hook your hoses back up. We try to help educate the community on what their insurance needs might be, where they have gaps in their insurance coverage, and coverages that they may not even be thinking about, because our goal is to, if they have a loss, is to help them recover from the unexpected.
SNC Squared is an IT service company. Our primary purpose is to take over IT infrastructure support for small to medium-sized businesses. Our goal is to become their in-house IT services. We take care of your entire network as if you had your own staff on hand. The traditional style is you always have a server sitting in your office. And while that's good and it worked really, really well in the old days, it's expensive to buy a whole server and put it in your closet. You need these services done. What difference does it make if that server is sitting in your closet or if that server is sitting in my office or if that server is somewhere? And by somewhere, this is where the whole cloud strategy comes in. The real advantage of being in the cloud is that we can allocate resources for you on the fly as they are needed. I can literally go in an environment and I have a client, for example, that has a server of certain power. It's, for example, got 8 gig of RAM on it, and I can actually, with one click, give them 10 gig of RAM. Suppose you had some of your machines were actually filling up and a hard drive was about to fill up. Well, I can remotely get it all cleaned up without having to have you both go down or also even have to send you an engineer to clean it on site. We can remotely manage and monitor your systems without having to get someone to your office and actually get, interrupt your day. Key advantage is they can then just run their business, and what we do is we take care of their IT services.
Wow, what a gorgeous day. On this stereo, this is booming awesome. However, the word on the street is that wireless connection is the place to go for your perfect stereo needs. Home stereos, anything wireless connection, they're the dudes. We were needing some soil testing done here at Cycle Connection, but I think maybe we're looking for somebody a little more advanced than Barney. I think a call needs to be made to Anderson Engineering. This is it! The perfect piece of metal with bling for the hog. It's all about Boyd Metals. Hi, I'm Nancy Hudson, co-owner of Cycle Connection Harley-Davidson, the 2003 Small Business of the Year winner. We are very excited to announce the finalists this year for the Small Business of the Year Award, Anderson Engineering Inc., Boyd Metals, and Wireless Connections. Congratulations to each of you.
Hi, I'm John Snider with Anderson Engineering, and we've been in business since 1954. We do civil engineering, surveying, drilling for soil and rock, and we also do construction testing and inspection for construction projects.
I've been with Anderson since 1998 when I joined as an engineer straight out of college. At the time, our engineering office was basically just a small two-man operation, and we've grown considerably since then.
Well, I started here at Anderson July of 2011. Being in the position that I'm in as a designer, engineer assistant, you've learned to deal with all kinds of people, and they're really good about helping explain exactly what they're wanting so that I can help get it into the CAD system, and then in the long run help them produce a drawing that we can give to our clients.
We do try to be very involved with our clients and our partners in the project, the architects and the builders, to make sure that everyone is on track and that at no time we're missing important input from anyone that's part of the process.
My name is Dina Bautista. I'm a design engineer with Anderson Engineering. Our part is the site grading and stormwater, which is collecting all stormwater runoff and treating it before it leaves the site using best management practices. We also do site utilities, which is bringing in utility mains if required, main extensions, and then also service locations so that the utilities get to the building. In general, we kind of take care of, on a project, we take care of everything outside of the building.
Boyd Metals is primarily a full-line metal service center. We sell all types of carbon steel, aluminum, stainless steel to manufacturers large and small within about a 150-mile radius of Joplin. So we're in a high growth mode right now. We've added a lot of new geographic territory in the last couple of years. We are looking at adding a truck to our fleet later on this year. We should be breaking ground within the next week or two on a approximate 7,200 square foot white metals bay that will be used to store nothing but our stainless and aluminum, what we know as white metals, for distribution to the pharmaceutical tank industry, the food tank industry, people like that. Well, we have a very diverse customer base. We sell everyone from the 1- and 2-man welding and machine shops all the way up to Fortune 500 manufacturers. We sell to a carnival ride manufacturer that makes the Ferris wheels, every kind of conceivable carnival ride you could think of. We sell a company that makes $1 million, $1.5 million RVs. We sell a company that makes the trucks that hauls the soda pop, sodas, beer, things like that, with the slide-up doors on the side. A company is its people, and what we sell at Boyd Metals, our product is a commodity. Our steel is like everyone else's. What we sell is service. We have, from our sales staff to our truck drivers to our warehouse people, we have great people.
Wireless Connections is a composite of a lot of different technologies that we do. Most people used to think of us as just a cell phone place. In reality, we've expanded a whole lot beyond that with different technologies, home theater, home wiring, digital signage. The one thing that we have tried to do, and the old saying is evolve or die, and trying to find out the needs and what will fit those needs in newer technologies that are coming up. Well, this is one of the newer products that we've rolled out. It's a touch screen where you can actually press on here, get additional information about products. Almost like an iPad. You can just swipe and go to a different screen. This can be used as a restaurant menu board. Maybe you want to see the nutrition, see how many fat grams, calories, the whole 9 yards, and do your research while you're standing there in the line. It's an interactive instead of just being a static sign, so you have total control and cost savings, and also the wow factor. From a central office, you can update 50 restaurants with the stroke of a button. A lot of times this is what we run into in homes. They'll have a remote for satellite TV, for the Blu-ray player, the stereo system, the CD player, the DVD player. So what we do is we put together a single remote control, but it's customized to replace all the remotes in the house.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Hello, I'm Dan Mitchell, and as a former winner of the Small Business of the Year for nonprofits, I'm very proud this year to get to introduce our 4 finalists. I find that all 4 finalists had something in common with Bridge Ministries. First, Life Choices. Now, I just need to say, they brought this to our attention. This is a chlamydia doll. I don't know if much more needs to be said. I work with teens. Secondly, SPIVA Center for the Arts. Last year during the tornado, the bridge served thousands and thousands of people, and as many of you know, there was no water pressure for a while. And SPIVA did a wonderful art project to memorialize how many times we had to clean out the toilets. Thank you, SPIVA. Next, we have WILDCAT Glades Conservation and Audubon Center. Now, of course, out there you find much wildlife. I shouldn't have to say the connection is so clear. I work with teens. And finally, Access Family Care. I have here in my hands a blood pressure cuff. I work with teens. The connection, very clear. And with that, I'd like to congratulate every nonprofit nominee for their work, hard work which went into this award, and the daily things they do to make our community better. Thank you.
Helping people make healthy choices for life, that's what Life Choices is all about. We encourage, we engage, we empower and equip the youth of our community to make the choices that we know are the best choices for them. Through our Connection Institute department, area students are really engaged in a 10-day sexual risk avoidance education program. We want to encourage individuals to take control of their choices. We say the choice is yours, choose to know. CDC-based information is reinforced further in the high schools with new programs that we have for Man Up and My Life events. Engaging our students with fun and visually impacting education really does empower them to not just make good choices, but to make great choices. Medical services at Life Choices include pregnancy testing, early ultrasound for pregnancy verification, STD and HIV screening, and providing physician consultant exams. Of course, referring for OB care is really imperative for the health of moms and those newborn little babies. Parenting class skills and ongoing Earn While You Learn classes really do equip young families so that they're thriving and not just surviving with those healthy life skills that are needed. Resources to assist new families are provided with the newborn supplies that are donated from the community and given to those new moms. With over 40 volunteers and many of those being medical professionals, we are, as Life Choices, making a difference in the tri-state area.
The Audubon Center has been here 5 years this September, and since then we have seen on average 50,000 visitors a year and 5,000 people a year that participate in an education program, and many more than that utilize our trail systems. I think people can think about the Audubon Center in really 3 different ways. One of it would be our education programs, and we work with schools. We have an education committee that's consistent of principals and teachers that really work to help us with our programs that they meet specific grade level expectations. For example, if they are learning about habitats in the classroom, that they come here and learn in a hands-on program, and literally they're with kick nets, out in the creek, out on our outdoor learning stations. The education programs that we have out here are really for all ages. We have programs on Saturdays that reach families, seniors, preschoolers. We specialize in programs for scout groups like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. Our hands-on programming is key to what we offer different in the community. It's that connection with nature, that when a child holds a butterfly for the first time, or it was the first time they've ever flipped over a rock in the creek and they've discovered on their own, that is a connection that is going to carry with them for a lifetime, that they will then make better choices for the environment. We structure our programming to meet the needs that our community has, whether that's the school needs, whether that's questions that you have for your backyard, whether that's scouting needs. So we really structure our programs for that. So the longevity and the growth of the Audubon Center really depends on the community.
In return for grace.
Access Family Care is a community health center. What we do is we provide primary care. We have internal medicine services for adults. We have pediatric services. We also have a women's health nurse practitioner. We also have certified nurse midwives who see patients up until a certain point before delivery, and then that's transferred over to the hospital. We also provide dental services all the way from pediatrics all the way through adult. What makes me proud about Access Family Care are the staff. When we hire employees for this organization, we look for certain DNA that they have. That DNA is a DNA that fits with our mission and our values. Our values spell the word care: compassion, access, respect, and excellence. When I think of compassion, I think of it as love in action. Access is another one of our values that we have worked very hard on. Over the last couple of years, we've actually doubled our patient visits by increasing this facility, by bringing on provider staff, by expanding to a 12-hour shift. We've been able to increase access to care. I hear so many times, and I get letters from patients that are happy because they feel like they get respect. And the other thing that's really important to our organization is excellence. We have a performance improvement program to make sure that we provide the best care for everybody that comes to us as patients.
Hi, I'm Jo Mueller, Executive Director with George A. SPIVA Center for the Arts. SPIVA is an independent community arts center celebrating its 65th year. We run classes year-round, over 200 classes for toddlers to senior citizens. We have exhibits in 3 galleries, including a gallery for local artists.
I'm Lori Marble, and this summer we're seeing a lot of classes for children that are within summer camp themes.
Every February we have 1,200 third graders come through here, and it is just a riot. That is a passion for me because I know that those kids, those third graders, that's when they're going to get it. When you look at studies about children and the arts, if you get kids involved in that, it opens up and changes their way of thinking. You know, creative problem solving, that ability to go outside the box.
But I know more importantly possibly to me is that we've seen some students come through in the last year or 2 years that their self-confidence has grown. The volunteers here and the staff here, we take ownership in those students, and they in turn with us. SPIVA becomes their art center.
Fortunately, we have teachers here and educators who are part of the public school system watching out for kids and encouraging them to get involved. You know, it cascades, and their creativity is going to bring Joplin forward in ways that we could never even imagine.
Right.